And we are back, episode 44 of Journey to a Million. For the first time ever, it looks like we are live on Twitch. Yeah, I wish I could have made a bigger, more exciting announcement, but I was like, I wanted to make sure it worked, wanted to make sure everything was going smooth, because otherwise it would have been like, all right, well, where's the Twitch stream? So we are live on Twitch again. This will be all linked on our podcast stuff, our link tree, and of course on the Instagram at Drew Sports Crew and Twitter as well. But enough of me talking here. Full Journey to Million squad here, of course. Zack Roush has joined with me as well. Zack, how are you doing?
Doing good.
And you guessed it. Hold on. Let's do a little move here so you can see Jared. There's Jared.
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Hey, okay. Thank you, Jared. Anyways, we have a lot of good stuff here to talk about. Week 3 has come and gone in the National Football League. We also have to do a Week 4 preview. We'll be looking at some takes we got right, some takes we got wrong in the first 3 weeks. Keep that first 3 weeks in mind. A lot of this stuff could change. I remember I showed you guys a tweet from Heath Cummings of CBS, right, showing how players performed last year through the first 3 weeks, and there were some crazy numbers on there. Jonathan Taylor was he a top 40 running back, or was he like 42 or something?
Didn't get the ball.
Like that was something. Amon-Ra St. Brown, of course, was nowhere to be found on that list, and then just some other guys who ended up creeping up in that spot. I think that's just something to keep in mind when we talk about those takes and kind of how it's been so far, because they could still change. For example, some of our Cole Kmet, DJ Moore takes for myself.
Most of them can change.
Most of them. Yeah. Some of them might not, right? We have to keep that in mind. But there is room for hope, I want to say. Anyways, I guess let's start kind of going back how we do it in week 3. So, yeah, I mean, it was an interesting week, to say the least. I guess going on our end for team picks and player picks. Do we want to talk about the fantasy picks?
Feels good to be over 500 in team picks.
We don't need to talk about team picks. We can go straight to players.
So 15 games. So Jared has put together back-to-back terrible weeks.
Pretty good, actually. Not gonna lie.
1-4 for the team picks. Back-to-back weeks for
Who
Jared.
did I have this week? So I had Chargers upset by the Jaguars. Raiders, the Titans finally won a game. The Vikings got that one right. The Browns beat the Steelers, and the Panthers beat the Saints. Those are all solid picks that just upsets, except for like one of them.
Well, they're not. Okay, wait. They're solid picks, but you went 1-4. Jared, I don't care what you just said. It does not add up.
On paper,
Drew, didn't you go like 2-3?
Yeah, and I was just about to say it. I was just
either.
Hold on, Zach. I was about to say it. Yeah, I did go 2-3 for the second time out of 3 weeks. Not great, and I can attest to Jared. Yes, I took the Chiefs first overall. Maybe a bad idea. Whatever. Zach has 3 straight weeks of 4-1. That's definitely coming to an end. I'm not buying it. So right now the standings after 3 weeks, Zach is leading the way 12-3. Myself, I'm back behind him 5 games, and Jared's behind me by 2 games. So Zach, Jared,
we can keep it at that. There. You don't got to read our records or nothing. Just
okay. Let's go to fantasy picks.
What are you,
was a mess.
Jared? 5-10.
That would equal
5-10
overall.
5-10 overall is Jared. Yes.
Yeah.
So I call that. I don't even know what I call that, Jared.
Bad luck. That's called bad luck. That's what it is.
It's called terrible.
When you don't choose the Colts the 1 week they win, that's bad luck.
Come on, Jared. Okay. All right. The fantasy player picks. It was terrible for all 3 of us, and there is no denying that. Everyone did bad. Zach was just the best of the worst, right? I mean, if that's the way to put it. 65.48
the winner of the
points.
losers.
The winner of the losers. I actually didn't take last this week. 60.7 to Jared's 60.48. Jared, a win's a win, right?
Yeah.
I lost by 0.3 points in a fantasy league.
I still lost. I messed up. I took like Justin Herbert, and right after I took it, I was like, wait, that guy's hurt. He's not going to do anything, right? JT underperformed again.
If he got a DNP, Jared, we would have done it. We would have.
Michael Thomas was out after like the 3rd quarter. Like he got hurt.
He still played though.
He still played it. It's one step. Yeah. I took Trey Lance in week 2, Jared.
Mm-hmm.
Tough luck.
I'm not saying he should have been replaced. I'm just saying I got unlucky.
I just think for week 3 of fantasy player picks,
Zach.
I think we just forget about it. I think we just move on from it as it's squad here. Right? It was not good for us.
If we're going by record, like who wins the weeks, we got to count this week, right?
Oh, come on.
Am I still in first for fantasy players?
Well, total points wise,
points,
yes.
Yeah.
But record wise, technically, it is. What am I looking at?
I went 2 weeks.
Zach has won week 1 and 3. He had 74.62 in week 1 to give him the win over Jared. Won this week as well. Week 2, however, Jared dominated with a commanding 17-point victory for him.
And Drew has been last every single week.
Notice how I didn't mention my stuff.
Etched me out this week.
Yeah, second.
Did he?
Yeah, about
Zach,
0.3.
I know reading's hard. I see you're on the document.
Come on, Jared. I expect more out of you.
Reading is tough. Yeah, let's move to week 4 for that stuff. I don't want to talk anymore about player picks. It's been bad for me. I keep taking I take guys for back-to-back weeks. Sometimes it has not worked in some aspect, and some it has. And my George Kittle pick just blew up in my face, considering
Did you take Sutton again last week?
Sutton actually had a lot of points. He had 20 points at PPR.
Was that your third straight week?
Yeah, but Judy was out, or Judy was not out, but Judy was
questionable.
Was not in an ideal spot, and he got a nice target share. So I don't feel bad about taking that one, Jared. But yeah, I guess to kind of go through takeaways from week 3, Jared, I always like starting with you in these takeaways. So, what was something that stood out in week 3 to you right away?
So most of my takeaways are AFC South based. Colts, they're a confusing team. I don't know what to think about them yet. I mean, 20 points is scary for your offense. JT hasn't looked normal, and it's kind of scaring me. This week's huge for the Colts. I mean, they play the Titans. We win that game. And the Jaguars play the Eagles, so that should be a loss for the Jags.
3-1.
Yeah.
3-1.
Well, my first takeaway was kind of about the Jags too. Like, are they good? Do you think that? Are you buying into it? You really think so?
Well, it sounds like last week when Drew was like, "Oh yeah, the Jaguars, he's buying it," and guess what happened? 38-10. Sorry, I'm gonna celebrate a team pick take.
That was with a hurt Herbert and a banged up
JC Jackson
right?
was out. Joey Bosa got hurt in the game. Look, I understand circumstances.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Zach.
I don't know if they're going to be a 10-win team, but they're going to be like that 8-win range. So
I think they'll be second in the division.
Depends what you consider.
God, my ego's gonna start rising after this week. If they beat the Eagles too, I'm gonna have to. I don't even know. We'll have to bring on a Jaguars person. I believe we did have one on in the offseason. I believe that was one we did by us 3. So I think we're gonna have to bring a Jags fan on and talk about it. But yeah, it was commanding win. The one thing I don't like is how much Travis Etienne's not getting the ball. So Travis Etienne is a talent. He needs the ball. I'm buying those still. If you aren't, you better be. But that's kind of my takeaway. But what do you guys think with James Robinson, though? 17 carries, 100 yards, a touchdown. Is this sustainable?
It has been, huh? The whole year, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's 3 weeks, but if Etienne's not getting used, they're going to Robinson. I can't say I like that team yet. I really don't. I just think that I'm not high on the Jags yet. And yeah, Robinson's putting up the numbers, just not sold on him yet.
I think it's sustainable.
Wow.
I mean,
so
he's looked good. So
let me ask you this then: James Robinson or Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
Are we talking like fantasy? Like
we're talking fantasy. Here? Sorry, fantasy PPR.
PPR.
Yes.
PPR.
Yes.
Just redraft a single year.
Redraft this year, Zach. Rest of season. Who are you taking?
Robinson.
I wouldn't, Zach. If you remember last year, Robinson started off amazing first few weeks, and he kind of like tapered off a little bit. He was like a middle of the pack running back after that. So I'm kind of buying into like this might just be him at his best, his like full strength. And now he's going to start to slow down a little bit. Because I remember last year, week 1, he had a monster game, and was it the Colts? I don't know. But yeah, he started off amazing last year, and he just kind of fell off a little bit. So I'm not buying into him yet. I would say Clyde Edwards-Helaire over Robinson, just because of the offense. I like that team more, and I don't know.
Okay.
I'm gonna look up to see if that's true.
So I actually just took. I know this is like, wow, Drew, so insightful. I just took the RB 3 and 4 so far in PPR. James Robinson, yes, is RB 3 through 3 games, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire's. I actually don't buy into either having the sustainable thing. That's also why I chose them. I don't want to cut anyone off right now, but Alex in the chat sent in a trade. What's going on here? Let's go through it. So he trades Dallas Goedert and Tristan McKenzie, I'm going to guess, for T. Higgins. And his other wide receivers are Debo and Devontae Smith, and his tight ends Njoku. I love that, getting T. Higgins. I love T. Higgins, especially with how the
Do you
Wait,
say Tristan?
you said
McKenzie?
Tristan as in like the
It's-
Guardians pitcher.
Sorry, yeah, I meant yeah, I know. Okay.
Drew, we're talking football here, right?
A lot of baseball going on. Just had a Brewer game last night.
Oh, that's right.
And I was also looking at Tristan McKenzie for fantasy baseball next year. Anyways, let's go through it. Okay, Debo, Devontae Smith, tight end Njoku. Thanks for correcting me. But my stance here is how the Bengals have been defended this year. The Bengals have been defended as, like cover 2. It looked like a lot. Like we've seen a lot of them just trying to prevent Jamar Chase from getting those 50+ yard plays. Right. I think T. Higgins is an excellent guy there in that offense. I love this trade for you, Alex. Jared, Zach, don't mean to cut you off here. Dominated, but
this right now. Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't know if David Njoku is a reliable tight end 1. That's the only short spot I'm looking here. But other than that, I like the trade.
Okay.
I like the trade, but then you definitely need to make a move for a different tight end after that.
I like Njoku until Watson comes back. Jacoby Brissett with his tight ends. I always say this, it sounds like, but he made Jack Doyle fantasy relevant at one point with the Colts. I like that aspect. He also added this part. I don't know if this changes anything. RBs being James Conner, Miles Sanders. QB is Patrick Mahomes. So I don't know, Alex. I like that trade for you. I'm content with it. There you guys go. But
yeah.
I guess going back to the Robinson, Edwards-Helaire thing, Zach, you had something pulled up?
Yeah, I was just looking at Robinson's stats. I mean, he was pretty consistent when he got touches last year, like throughout the year. It looked like whenever he got like 15+ touches, he was in the upper to mid teens for fantasy points wise. So,
okay. And yes, should I say? Let me just correct myself again. Isaiah McKenzie, not Tristan McKenzie. But Tristan McKenzie has underrated numbers in baseball. If you want to go check those out,
6'8" or something.
Yeah, but Jared, his numbers this year, he's been one of the most underrated pitchers so far.
Yeah.
All right, no problem, Alex. We will stay safe here. There's Alex's message to all of us. Thank you, Alex, again for being in the chat, supporting the J2M squad. Anyways, I guess that kind of wrapped up our Edwards-Helaire Robinson. Those are both guys who I still think you sell high on. Is that kind of where you guys are at right now too, or are you riding the hot hand?
Well, for one thing, I don't have either of them on any of my leagues, any of my teams.
If you had them, Jared, sorry.
Then yes, for sure, because I don't like either of them, so I would sell very high, get as much as I can.
I would sell on Helaire, but I think I'd keep Robinson.
Does that have anything to do with Doug Peterson being there? I guess I should say, or is that just strictly talent there?
I mean, he's got consistent work, so like that's a big thing with running backs, especially this year. Like we've seen even CMC have games where he gets 12 touches or something like that, and whatever he got week 1. So I think if you can get consistent touches at a running back spot, you got to keep it.
So I know you're not saying this, but JT had 9 carries week 2. That's not really consistent. You're still going to keep him.
Well, yeah, obviously, like the top guys that aren't getting consistent touches, I'm still going to keep them.
Well, I do know a few people that are looking to trade JT in other leagues.
I've seen that even in my dynasty league. For lack of a better name, my dynasty league. JT is on the trade block. Zach brought up CMC. Do you want to talk about Matt Rule? I'm very upset right now about everything about the Panthers offense.
You just don't like that DJ Moore's not getting targeted.
I am angry.
That's
Jared,
exactly
I'm not the
what
only
you're
one mad.
saying,
I am not the only one mad, but come on. Have you seen again, DJ Moore? I can't necessarily blame Matt Rule for some of the play calls, but I can a little. But the main thing is, and I'll get into this with the takeaway, but Baker Mayfield just has not been good.
No.
So far to start the year. It's just been atrocious. I guess with CMC, Zach, do you foresee, at least in these next couple of weeks, that the workload's gonna change? Like I really only think if Matt Rule gets fired throughout this year, which I think could happen. I think a midseason fire. I think he's a guy who we could really see it happen to. I think that's really the only way it changes here.
Yeah, I haven't been a big fan of Matt Rule. Like I guess like first year, I thought he had like some potential, but then after that, he's kind of didn't really adapt to the game much. But if you look at CMC's numbers, I mean, he's had 4 receptions, 2 receptions. He has 1 touchdown on the year. So I know the offense isn't great, but I think he's going to score more touchdowns on 1 every 3 weeks. So I mean, if you're looking at that, he's only going to score 6 touchdowns in the whole year. I think he's going to score more touchdowns, and that's obviously going to help. But if you look at the last 2 weeks, 19, 17 points, those are still solid weeks. Not what you're looking for with McCaffrey. But if he adds a touchdown here and there, I mean, I think that's he's been getting better as the weeks have went on.
You know, there's not really any running backs besides like elite running backs that have been like good. You know, Derrick Henry's been pretty bad. Saquon's been really good.
Saquon's been good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Chubb's had crazy touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
He has 4 touchdowns already.
Yep, he's the most touchdown-dependent running back that is a starter, I feel, in football.
Does Eckler have a touchdown yet?
Let me
because
look.
JT has 1, CMC has 1. I think Derrick Henry has. Does he have 1? Maybe. I don't know if Eckler does.
It's been like the running backs just in general have not been performing well.
And now Delvin
Eckler
Cook
does not have a touchdown.
No, none. Delvin Cook's hurt now, and it's
Eckler right now is RB 13.
He's 80 rushing yards on the season.
But he has like, what is it, like 20-something receptions already? He got targeted
21
10 times.
Yeah.
He got targeted like 10 plus times last game. Like the main thing that's
4 carries though. 4 carries.
Yeah, okay. Travis Etienne is what Etienne's exactly what I think. I don't know. I think Austin Eckler is a good comp for like his upside, right, for the future. Not this Eckler, but like last year or the prior Eckler. All I'm saying is just because I feel like we're gonna get like not a lot of carries from Etienne, like, and maybe I don't even know. I'm just saying like Javonte Williams is similar in that aspect. Just guys who are gonna get. Yeah, I'm just trying to like group the guys right who are gonna getting like 10 carries maybe or so a game and getting like 10 targets.
I mean, Eckler is scaring me. Herbert was hurt. He was not healthy, and Eckler got 4 carries. You said
4 carries for 5 yards.
When are they going to use him if they're not going to use him that week? I know they were down by a lot.
They're down, so they had to pass. But I mean, I think overall we're just kind of seeing like the whole entire league and the offensive systems are kind of switching to a more pass happy offense. I mean, with all these like great young quarterbacks coming in, that's where we're seeing teams invest in receivers. We saw the Eagles, we saw the Dolphins. All these teams are trading like premier draft picks for these first round. For these receivers, and then they're giving them huge contracts. So it's just how the NFL is changing, and I think the running back position, in fantasy wise, anyways, it's going to be more reliant on getting those little check down receptions.
That's frustrating too. Like, I mean, if you drafted our hero RB this year, you're probably kicking yourself through the first few weeks, right?
And I feel like most people did too. That's the thing.
Yeah,
you needed
feel like
this year.
If you did Dalvin Cook, let's say, or you got like Najee and then Dalvin Cook, let's say, the first 2 picks.
Those are solid picks going in.
Those are 2 first rounders, right? I mean, but I'm saying like if you got like one of those 2, and then I don't even know, like second round running back. It depends on like who kind of fell.
DeAndre Swift.
Well, Swift's actually RB5 so far this year. I know
he's been good, but he's hurt.
Yeah. Now he's hurt for the next 2 weeks. He'll be back after the bye week.
That was a big concern coming into the season, though.
Even like Mixon. Mixon has been decent, but
he was not good this week.
No, not at all this week.
Mixon, and I know this is 3 weeks. I can't really look into this right now, but Mixon's right now is RB16. Again, this is really small sample size.
You're mentioning Dalvin Cook. I think he's playing this week. But with that injury, he's had that injury before. So what are the chances that shoulder is actually going to hold up?
Didn't he just pop it back into place, put it in a brace, and now he's good to go? I think that's what they said.
Yeah, I think so. But like,
you can't trust that.
Telling you, Alexander Madison. I mean, we've talked about this on this podcast a lot.
Yeah,
like the top running backs this week are going to be Alexander Madison, Jamal Williams, and Khalil Herbert. Like, come on, 3 handcuffs.
Yeah.
Look, and let's talk more about our running backs. Let's keep this conversation going. I want to know. I mean, Jared, you just bring about like we're gonna be doing fantasy picks later still, but Mac Jones being out next week against the Packers, Brian Hoyer, it sounds like, is gonna be the guy under center, or at least what I'm seeing. Do we think, right? Is this a Ramondre Stevenson week, Damian Harris week? I guess. What do you guys do with that Patriots offense right now?
I think you
Nothing.
just nothing because
Don't
I don't
start
think they're
anyone?
scoring many points.
No, they're
I
gonna
think
put up,
they're
like,
scoring
7
10
points.
points max.
What
Yeah.
if Mac Jones is out for like, let's say, the next 4 weeks? Are you starting?
Then they
it-
go 0-4 the next
Are
4
the only
weeks.
startable people then Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson? Maybe like as like a
Do
flex.
you even trust them?
No, I'm asking. I
I don't trust
don't
them.
know. It's yeah.
So my
I'm just
thing
saying in a
is,
deep league.
you know how much I hate split backs, and they're the definition of a split back. And with that offense, everything's just a red flag there. I'm not touching either of them.
Nobody, and that offense is looking like a mess. We talked about Matt Patricia leading an offense, or there, it's not going to look good, and it hasn't. So I have just not been pleased with that offense. Otherwise, but with Mac Jones, we saw Jacoby Myers can have productive weeks, and Devontae Parker, if Myers is out, will really command some targets. And again, that was 1 week, but I think that's something that we could still see. But if Mac Jones isn't playing, Mac Jones hasn't been great, really. But there, I don't think you start. I'm with you, Zach. But unless you have to, like, where Drew starts a guy like Josh Palmer and who puts up 16, or he starts Greg Dortch, who also put up 17 last week. Telling you, Greg Dortch is the
Drew's
secret.
very proud of himself on those
He is.
random starts that he gets.
Kyler Murray, yeah, Zach, we were talking.
You put
about
yourself in that situation with all the
No,
injuries
Jared,
that
I
happened.
assumed this dynasty team. There was no me putting it myself. Darnell Mooney
Drew,
came
I've been
with my team.
tanking. I'm tanking and rebuilding, and I literally have better starters than you. Like if you go like to my worst starter, it's better than yours.
Well, guess what, Zach? My worst starters have been going off, and you know what? Guess who picked up Mac Hollins? I know we might not talk about it. I picked up Mac Hollins an hour before that game started. I didn't start him, but I was thinking about it, and that's enough for a flex for me.
Okay.
Okay. Anyways, sorry. That was just me getting very passionate about being 1 and
Okay.
2 in like 4 leagues. All right.
So
Couldn't
okay.
be me.
we're staying on this running back thing.
Yeah, let's talk about it. I mean,
So,
that's my main takeaway I want to talk about today. RB injuries.
I got
and how it
one.
affects-
What about go out to Arizona? So I guess James Conner and then just like the whole offense in general. They've been outscored 56-13 in the first half of games this year.
Wow.
So like
Tough.
what are your thoughts on I guess Cardinals in general and James Conner, Kyler
Well,
Murray?
With James Conner, we knew going in, if he's not getting his touchdowns, he's not putting up the numbers he was last year. And he's not really putting up the touchdowns, so he's not going to be putting up the numbers. With the Cardinals, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of them. I mean, they have weak receiving core without Hopkins there. They got Marquise Brown, who's been decent, not much,
With
honestly.
14 receptions last week on 17 targets, by the way. Which
Yeah.
that's been
Wow.
good.
Wow, 14. I didn't know that.
Hollywood Brown has been like we talked about. If you pair a guy like you pair Marquise Brown with someone like someone who's going to like dominate the start of your year, and then maybe doing like a pair. I suggested always Michael Gallup. Right now it hasn't looked like that, but like otherwise maybe a guy like Jameson Williams, even if you want to just chase rookie receiver upside. I think there's some good pairs there, or even just taking Hopkins, taking the simple answer or Amari Cooper with Watson, but we've saw Cooper's been good without that, which has been something. But I guess, Zach, my take on what you said with the Cardinals offense, I guess the running game is kind of what I like to point to. You mentioned James Conner being out. I was tooting the Eno Benjamin horn, and it has not been Eno Benjamin. It's been Darrell Williams, who has really assumed a lot of that, the valuable work, let's say, the work, right? The red zone work, the passing game work. Benjamin's been more that third or the 3 down back, and which had some value. I mean, he's put up like some points. I'm just thinking it was like 5 to 7 points, which is not like any value if you really think about it. But in like deep leagues, you really have to start him. Maybe you can get something out of him for future years. But that offense, though, is not ideal right now.
Are you guys worried about the Cardinals like season long? Like
What do they have
for
this
their
week?
position? Like if you're a Cardinals fan right now, are you concerned about them? They're playing Carolina right now. They're like this week they play
They're
Carolina.
1 and 2, right?
Yep, 1 and 2 last in division, and then they got Philly, Seattle, New Orleans, Minnesota.
They're going to have a tough schedule too, because what were they, second in their division last year? Yeah.
So like they got obviously Rams. They got to play twice, then they got like San Francisco twice, the Chargers. So they got some tough teams, especially at the end of the season.
My concern level for them is the same as Broncos, but not as much as Raiders.
Okay.
Okay,
What? I think that's a fair way to answer it.
we got to
not
talk
agree?
about the Broncos too.
I think I'm more concerned about the Broncos than I am the Cardinals,
Hey,
for sure.
Broncos are 2-1 though.
Yeah, but
that's
Russ
the
has
one thing
not
for me.
been cooking. That's the thing.
Can I talk about?
well,
Okay,
they
go
have
ahead.
14 and a third points a game. That's how many for the Broncos.
Hey, that's good. Look at the Colts. They're right up there with them. All right.
But so I guess like that's for me at least in Dynasty Javonte Williams owner. That's what's been concerning me is I was thinking like this year, yeah, he might not get all the touches with Melvin Gordon, which we've seen. Melvin Gordon actually got a good chunk of the touches, but also touchdowns. Like they're not scoring them. So I thought that was going to be helping Javonte. And I mean,
we might have been right. It might be a 60-40 in Melvin Gordon's favor.
Choo choo.
yeah. Get Melvin out of there.
Honestly,
I said
I like Melvin Gordon, but still, like,
what was
I
that all
just-
about? Javonte's the guy. No, he isn't.
and
He isn't at all.
which pointed why we thought, or at least why some of us thought Gordon was going to get more work than perceived. They brought him back around when the draft was taking place, which pointed to they weren't interested in drafting any of those running backs in this year's draft, in my opinion. They brought him back. They were like, they were probably looking to explore running back, didn't like any of the running backs, and they decided to be like, well, let's just bring back the old guy and see the chemistry built up there. But I don't know. The Broncos offense, Zach, I suggested or I hinted at maybe a turnaround to get a win in week 3. They did get the win in week 3, but there is no turnaround. I mean, it was still terrible.
was so ugly.
That game was awful.
That was a terrible game.
Jimmy G is the reason Broncos won.
He walked out of the back of the end zone.
Hey, that
on the
avoided
same
a pick
play.
6.
Yeah, so I guess 49ers, good thing he didn't know where the back of the end zone was.
So, Zach, can I ask you a question? I know you're a Brandon Ayuk guy. Are you buying low right now in redraft? Ayuk and Garoppolo? Chemistry, pretty good?
Garoppolo. That's not fair. It's tough.
Yeah, I don't know because like the offense has been pretty split. Obviously Debo hasn't been great. The whole offense just hasn't been that great, and I don't think it's going to be spectacular with Jimmy G. So I would say probably not, just because he's had 2 double-digit weeks. So
okay, I'll tell you where I am. I'm doing it it's a 2 receiver, 2 flex keeper league auction, and there's Fab involved. I am buying low on him right now, trying to at least. So that it has to be very specific for me. I have a feeling maybe the rest of this year you can get something going, and maybe next year if I can keep him for cheap. Is kind of my thought. But yeah, that, and also Kittle. Is there anything you guys want in that offense with Kittle and Garoppolo?
Kittle's going to have his weeks.
I think
He will.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
with
still a top tight end.
Not for fantasy picks though. He really hurt me. Really hurt me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I view him as kind of a boomer bust type guy because
And
he'll have
that's not
those
really who he
40-point
is,
weeks, and then otherwise he has
he's always been top 3, top 5 at the last few years. Besides when he was hurt, but
he's got his 40-point weeks though, which make up for all of his kind of down weeks.
I have a takeaway on here. It says Jared is always right, ? That's one of my takeaways.
it's a good takeaway.
After it's me asking a question. Well, Jared was hinting, you were confident in the Dolphins getting the job done. Maybe not really confident, but it seemed like you thought the Dolphins really had a shot here when Zach and I maybe were more hesitant on that. But sure enough, 21-19 final. I guess I'll kind of let you talk. Allen passed 63 times, by the way. I just want to throw it out in case nobody saw that stat. But anyways, Jared, floor is yours.
You can look back at all of our podcasts, and I've been talking up. Actually, for my good take, we'll mention it later. I'm not trying to get my ego high, but I've said Tua and Hill are gonna impress a lot of people. And I said that the Dolphins are contenders. I've been saying, Zach, you guys both originally had them.
Yeah, Zach, just you.
7 wins.
Nope,
I
just
said
Zach.
both.
Nope,
Had like
just
7
Zach.
wins.
It's
I
like
put them in the
this.
playoffs right
Hey,
away. I put them at
they're
10
only at
wins.
3 right now. They're only at 3.
And I don't think they're stopping this week. Who do they play? They got Bengals this week.
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a question. So I wrote down some kind of pick'ems. Eagles or Dolphins?
That's 1A, 1B right now for me.
Eagles.
Pick one, Jared.
Dolphins.
All right.
Give me more, Zach.
Should we keep going? Lions, Jaguars.
Jags.
Jaguars. Oh, that was all I had.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Colts, Titans.
Hold on.
Colts,
That's
Titans.
That's a chant, not a cheer for Zach. A chant.
Colts Titans.
Colts or Titans? Colts.
Jaguars.
That's the right answer. I'll give
That
you
is the
that
right
one, Zach.
answer.
Okay. What about Jets or Giants? Who are you taking for the rest of the year in New York?
With Zach Wilson, still the
Jets.
Giants.
Jets.
Giants.
Barkley's going to carry
Jets.
that.
Can we talk
weapons are
about-
good?
I was going through our record predictions before at the start of the year. Jared said the Giants were only winning 2 games this year. They have 2 wins already.
Did
Don't
I
they
say
have 2
2?
wins already? They have 1. Yes.
Are you sure I didn't say 3?
You said 2. I said 3.
Okay.
So
What did
neither
I
of us
say?
What did
I
Zach say?
just-
4?
Did I
I
say
think Zach
4?
was at 5, 4 or 5. Zach was actually
All right.
Zach's was more respectable. He got that one.
sucks for the
I was
Giants
looking through
'cause
some other ones.
Yeah, I'm always right. So that sucks for the Giants that they're going to lose like 14 straight
Zach,
weeks
I think
now.
you said the Dolphins were going 6-11. I'm pretty sure you said that. I think
Did
that's what
I?
the
Mhm.
stats posted.
I had him at
I
like
was
10
going through.
wins.
That one's not looking so good right now, but
That one might be colder than the Giants one. But we'll go back in those. We actually had someone who follows the page go back, and they were looking at some cold takes, and they had to let Zach know they didn't like his division rankings, which is some good stuff. But anyways, any other takeaways really from week 3? We wanted to really, if we were going to focus on a takeaway this week, we really just wanted to dig into it, right? Talk more about it. But you guys have any other one you really want to dig into right now?
What are your guys' thoughts on the Saints and Jameis Winston? His touchdown interception ratio is 4-5 right now.
He's
and
famous.
I don't know if this is like,
He's famous.
I think this kind of shows Sean Payton was an amazing coach. That's not a take away from Dennis Allen, because I think he can still be a good coach and he's still a decent coach. But with those weapons, are you concerned with how Jameis has performed so far?
Well, I mean, Sean Payton had Drew Brees his whole career too. I mean,
Even last year, though.
yeah, last year was
No.
like the exception.
Concern level for Drew is like a 4 out of 10.
For the Saints,
Yes. For other offense.
they
Yeah,
just lost to the Panthers,
that's fine.
Their offense looked bad in back-to-back
and the
weeks now.
Panthers look really bad. That's
I
the
think
scary
Alvin
part.
Kamara is a
yeah.
buy low guy.
Alvin
I know it
Kamara is always
doesn't-
going to be
yeah.
good. It's
But
just,
he hasn't really performed right so far this year.
Wait,
Olave
has he had any
and Landry
touchdowns?
have
I know
still
we've talked
looked-
about
I
before.
can't
like,
say
yeah.
I've seen him in the end zone. I can't say I remember.
I think Zach. I don't
I'll
think he
look
does,
right
and that's
now.
kind of why right now he's RB. Well, also he missed a week, but right now he's only averaging 7.5 points a game. I like to throw
Hey,
that
off
number out.
topic. I'm sorry,
He's
off
at 5
topic.
receptions.
Where is Kyle Pitts in tight end rankings? I just want to know
Jared
because
wants-
I was
I will
scrolling
let you
through and
know
I
in a
couldn't
minute.
see.
Nope, Zach, you're gonna be too slow.
He's got to be like 40
He's-
plus.
Tight end 15.
What?
15. He had a
Jared,
decent
tight
week
end.
last week.
Jared, we've
thing.
talked about with tight end, it's hit or miss, right?
Maybe I
It's
was looking at the
literally-
wrong thing.
Jared,
Hold on.
OJ Howard's still tight end 17.
Kyle Pitts had 13.7 last week, so that
Yeah,
kind of helps
it's
him.
right now. Tyler Conklin is tight end 3. Jared. Again, we
Yeah.
talked about
He's been
this.
getting
David
good
David
targets.
Njoku is number 2.
Yes, but I think that's changing. Zach, we actually were
No,
texting yesterday about when
Njoku
Zach
is
Wilson
not
comes
number
back.
2.
Hold on, no, I'm looking
Njoku's
at week
number
3.
9.
I'm looking at week 3.
Yeah.
Nope.
It goes Andrews,
Season
Kelsey,
average.
Conklin, Ertz,
Ertz.
Waller, Goddard.
Yeah. I have
Who wants Cole Kmet? Guess.
Jordan.
Is he inside or outside the
Atkins.
top 50?
Out. He's definitely inside.
He's outside.
Are you serious?
He has like 1 catch on the year, Zach, for like what, 10 yards?
He had like
Zach-
40, 50 yards last week, didn't he? He had like 2 for 40 or something like that.
Even
But
with
Zach,
that, that's,
Zach, he had 2 for 40.
4
That's 6
points.
points. That's it.
well, in PPR, yeah. 6 points.
But I want to bring out up the point how him and Tyler Davis are in a similar spot right now. Tyler Davis of the Packers, keep in mind.
Who?
I was about to say, who's Tyler Davis?
He was involved in the passing game a couple times so far
Yeah.
this year with the Packers, like 2 plays. So there you go.
Well,
Um,
Justin Fields, like I've been saying, I hate to,
Terrible.
keep saying
Oh
it. He
my
can't
gosh.
find a receiver. He's
No.
he's so
Your
bad.
exact words. He can't throw a football. Yeah, I
Yes.
was pointing for that one because I had to
Yeah.
make sure I got it right. He cannot
What do
throw a football.
He had like 11 pass attempts last week or something like that. And
Yeah.
they were down too, I think. Or no, it was a close game, but it was against the Packers. They're down, and he had like 10, 11 pass attempts. or
Well,
something like
Montgomery
that.
was having a good game too.
Yeah, but
still,
maybe
Yeah, but
I'm just
still,
looking
when
through
you're
these,
down, you
11
got to pass,
passes.
you know?
yeah.
looking through these first few weeks. Maybe the secret is just don't overthink it, right? I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown has a hot second half of the season. maybe he's gonna just carry it over. I mean, maybe we were just looking into it too much
Hey,
about.
I mean, we saw the Rashad Penny too, and he's been terrible.
I'm just saying. But also, these things can change throughout, obviously. But want to just point that out. Maybe just with Jared, it's like, okay, the Bears don't have an offensive line. They have Justin Fields, who has not proven himself. Why do we like Darnell Mooney? Why do we like Cole Kmet? I'm not saying we all did, but I'm just saying, why were there people who didn't? And I was one of them. Yeah, I did. I admitted it, Zach.
Drew,
we're talking the takes.
You said he was a sleeper candidate, and I immediately called him a bust. So with Darnell Mooney.
Oh, I think from a talent perspective, they're both extremely talented. I still think they have the talent to go where I said they went. I'm just saying maybe I should have just valued the quarterback situation more. You still have to value Kmet being, from a talent perspective, a breakout guy in some point in his career. I still think he has that in him. But I don't know. That's kind of where I am. No?
Yeah. I can see. I mean,
more takes. Can we go move to takes here? Throw some more out.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I had the only... I tried looking at the worst take that I had.
The only bad one.
I tried looking at the worst take because I had a few bad ones.
Oh my goodness!
You're about to say the only bad one. You said the only.
Okay, it was a mistake. I thought the worst one that I had was saying Devontae Parker will be like the sleeper candidate in New England. And he'll be number 1. Which is
he had a good week last week.
He had a good week, but that's 1 week.
So his worst take was pretty good too.
No, the last few weeks were. Look at weeks 1 and 2. He had like 1 catch.
Bad.
So bad.
Oh my!
Mike Gesicki was my other one.
I think that was your worst one so far, Jared. What about? Wait, were you the? No, that was me. Yikes! What? I have like 3 of them. I'll mention.
What one are you thinking of?
Drew,
I have the Amon-Ra St. Brown bust one I could talk about, which in my defense, there was a lot of people, including, I believe, Zach and Jared, you got behind that one with me.
I got behind it because you were so adamant on it. That's the reason.
See, Jared got behind.
He would be all right. I didn't completely agree with you, but I think he was going to be
doing
Zach's
what right. He did say
yeah.
that.
I was a little bit higher, but I wasn't super high.
Okay. DJ Moore, obviously, but I want to defend DJ Moore. I believe he's in the...
He can still break out. It's only week 3.
No, not that. We talked about that meme, Zach. We already talked about that. My defense is, he still has been, I believe he's still like top 10 in terms of routes ran. He's still like up in that, in all the stats.
What's
were
the
like
ceiling.
He's due to get
8?
there. Wide receiver 8.
8.
Well, Jared, now I got to kind of go down a little bit, but I still think wide receiver 12, it could happen.
We got
it's a long season
from
Jaden, we're getting to that one, Zach. Here we got to talk starts here in this one. So yeah, that's my DJ Moore defense. I still think it can happen. Baker needs to play better though. That one from a talent perspective, it's not DJ Moore, it's Baker Mayfield and Matt Rule. I am defending him. I will make excuses for him until the season ends.
Drew, I think one take that you got right was saying that Elijah Mitchell was going to be bad. That was a good one.
But he got hurt.
I know.
Okay, we'll talk more about takes here. Jaden wants to know some start questions. So the question right now is, which 3 wide receivers should I start? Devontae Smith, Justin Jefferson, AJ Brown, Keenan Allen, or Michael Thomas? His QB is Carson Wentz.
Hey, he's been
those receivers are good options.
Can you please?
He wasn't last week, Jared. He wasn't last week.
No.
Yeah, if you read the end, I think you definitely need to trade a receiver for a quarterback.
So, who would I trade right now? I would. I don't like having AJ Brown and Devontae Smith on my team, having 2 guys from a run-heavy offense in the Eagles. You trade one of them. You trade the one who has the better week, I think, the week before, and Devontae's
had 2 great weeks.
Yeah. Jaden, so what I would do, I would start Justin Jefferson, AJ Brown, and then it comes down to the fact, do you like Keenan Allen coming back from that injury? In PPR? If it's PPR, yes. If it's not, I don't know, Keenan Allen, Mike Thomas.
My thing here is Keenan Allen, like you said, coming off an injury. So is Michael Thomas. So he's got some injured players on his team. I don't like Smith on that team. I'd probably get rid of Smith, but you still need some depth just in case one of your receivers goes down. Then say they're hurt as well. You got no one.
Can I give you matchups here? Vikings Saints, and that game is in London, and then also. Then for the Chargers, they are facing the Texans. So it's Chargers, Texans, and then it's Vikings, Saints for your matchups.
If Keenan Allen starts, if he's playing, that's a good start. But
you got to start Justin Jefferson. So I think that's
that. We're not arguing that one. I think
Jefferson, Brown, you have to start. Yeah, you have to start them too.
Yeah,
and then I would go Keenan Allen.
Yep.
Just
Thank you.
Just because Michael Thomas hasn't had like great volume, I think he has 3 touchdowns now in the year, which has helped his production.
It's
So I
saved
think
his
you're kind of
production.
banking on getting a touchdown from him if you want like a 15-point week, where I think Keenan Allen can get there without the touchdown.
Okay, I commented. I say Allen, Jefferson, Brown are mine. Is Smith for Tua a crazy trade? I don't think you're gonna get that done. Unfortunately, nobody's gonna give up Tua for Smith, in my opinion. Is that gonna happen?
Tua for
Jared, you're looking.
Smith?
You're looking at me crazy, Jared.
No, I was
Depends
looking
on
at
the other
chat.
guy's team.
Oh, yes. But I think he's going to want more for that, Zach. Obviously, with how Tua's performed, you're going to
Yeah,
have to do some
probably.
sort of buy low there. I mean, looking quarterback situation.
We're like a Matthew Stafford. He's not been good.
Yeah. That's a buy low guy.
Tua's
I
been
wouldn't
putting up
try to
decent
buy.
numbers.
Yeah.
I don't think Smith is nearly enough for Tua.
Joey being Tua. Oh, he's offering you Tua for
Oh,
Smith?
yeah. You take that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, give up Smith, take
Yeah,
Tua.
I'd take it.
That's
Take
yeah,
that.
for sure.
I'm
for sure.
commenting. I'm letting him know right in the chat right away. Take that, please. That's awesome.
What's
I
Tua on the
give-
year? Is he like top 5? He's
All
got
right,
to
let me-
QB5.
let me get-
QB5
He's
right now.
QB5 on the dot. Yes. So, okay. Hope that helps you out, Jaden, on that. But anyways, going back to the takes situation, we were talking about takes I got wrong still, right? I mean, those were kind of the main
There's
two.
a long
Yeah,
list. There's a
We're
big
going
No,
down
list.
the
there's-
long list. Yeah. We're going down the list. I think you're on number
No.
like 3.
4.
No,
like
we can
that.
talk about. Why don't we talk about how I so far have hit the draft on the nose in terms of rookie receivers, talking about talent perspectives. Just saying.
I mean, they've
Drew,
all
what
been
about your-
pretty good,
what
so
about your
it's kind of
Isaiah?
hard to miss.
Your
Keep 'em
Isaiah
coming, Jared.
Pacheco. Your Isaiah
Keep-
Pacheco take.
Jared, I sold high on him when it was high.
Did you? Okay.
Also, hey, I just want to throw this in here. I'm sorry. He's got Javante and Etienne on the same team.
Yeah, that's rough.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
But he's
Brees,
got
hold
Khalil
on to
Herbert.
Hall. I trust Brees Hall.
I like
Khalil
Hall.
It's gonna
Herbert.
happen.
I like Hall.
It's
Yeah. I think
Khalil Herbert's been
Herbert-
good as a handcuff.
I picked them up in a redraft. I think that with the new regime coming into Chicago, I think that if Montgomery has a few bad weeks, we could see Herbert getting 10 plus carries a game. I think that's realistic.
I think that's realistic for a
Mhm.
few running back situations, Zach. And I think Montgomery hasn't really had. I mean, think about what he did against
If you
the
look
Packers.
at
If
you
Montgomery
look at
gets
week
hurt.
1. Yeah, you look at week 1 though. Montgomery had 17 carries for 26 yards.
Those
Khalil
are
Herbert had
49ers.
9 carries for 45 yards.
Yeah.
That's a big difference. So you look at that. Obviously, week 2, Montgomery looked great against Packers. So did Herbert. And then last year, Herbert had a phenomenal week after Montgomery came out. So I think he's only winning himself more carries.
Yeah.
Dynasty, yes. I can't get behind it yet in redraft.
The only thing I'd say about that, Zach, with Montgomery week 1 was the weather conditions were
Yep.
running conditions only. So I mean, that's
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
to look at
Were
too.
they
but-
zoning in on, were they really zoning in on Justin Fields throwing a football? As Jared says, he can't
Yeah.
throw a football.
He can't,
But-
but he has to learn that part. Yeah.
Is Dave
From a
Montgomery
dynasty,
out?
Yeah,
Is he out?
no, he's playing. He's questionable this week.
Yeah, there is
But
questionable. So
they-
obviously, if
That's a Sunday one to look at.
in Jane's situation, if Montgomery plays, obviously don't start Herbert, and then I would probably go Javante and Brees Hall.
What if
Yeah,
Montgomery's on a snap count?
Then you might just go. I would go eat or not
Yeah.
Etienne.
And it
I would
happened
go
with Swift.
Hall
All I'm
and-
saying is
Who's
we got to think Sunday.
Chicago's got
Chicago
the Giants.
Chicago and the Giants.
Giants.
Two of the best offensive lines in
Ah.
football.
Can't wait
That
for
is
that
going to be
game,
the
huh?
game to watch on Sunday. Noon.
Yeah.
I've seen definitely start Javante. He's still got touchdown upside. And then I would say for me it'd be between Hall and Herbert, depending on Montgomery's status.
Okay. Let's go now, guys. So, I mean, I know we really didn't have the takes, but we're almost 45 minutes in here.
Oh jeez.
So
Get
just
our picks
don't
done.
want to rush us at all, but we usually keep these around an hour for the listening audience. Maybe we'll touch on more of the other people's takes, your guys' takes later. But we need to not just talk about my bad takes first. I need to defend myself and say I did mention Christian Kirk more than one sec. That is cap. When you say I don't, look, Journey doing.
I heard it once or twice.
I ended up with it.
You did not talk about him very much.
Okay, fine. But Chris Olave, I talked about. It happened. We also didn't talk about Chase Edmonds' take. We're not going to talk about that right now. I don't want to talk about that.
He had a good week last week. He had a good week.
It was one touchdown. It was
touchdowns.
such a
He
touchdown.
had two
touchdowns.
touchdowns. He had
Sorry.
2 touchdowns.
Two
He had like
touchdowns.
6 touches.
Hey,
The
James
one of
Conner did
those-
it last year.
But Zach, I'm confident that situation will turn around. Edmonds was going still for a pretty good value unless you took him like Jared in the 4th round or whatever he did. But look, I'm happy with my Drake London picks, having him in Dynasty. That's looked very good so far. He's looked awesome. I know, Garrett Wilson's also looked good. Zach, that's kind of like your guy, right? But
I mean, that's the take that I had done that hit. I took his over for the NFL futures bets. So I got his over on touchdowns. He's halfway there. As long as 3.5, he's already at 2. And then there's like 850 yards or something like that. And I think he's at 200 already. So
yeah, I'm feeling good about my season long parlay stuff too. I still feel like my AJ Dillon one's gonna like AJ Dillon and Cortland Sutton. I also feel like I got right, but again, like it's 3 weeks and hard to say. But I'm happy that I had a lot of those guys. Jaden's got more stuff. Jared, we'll get to your kind of takes and stuff next week. We'll talk more with Zach about next week as well. But Jaden wants to know about Ramondre Stevenson. Ramondre Stevenson being a guy who many were touting as like a sleeper point. He got maybe a little overvalued, maybe not, but Stevenson in a PPR, I'm all for it. But that offense we talked about is tough. Zach, what are your thoughts here on Stevenson?
So I actually have him in a dynasty league. I was trying to trade him. I don't like the Patriots backfield just because they've pretty much always split their running back touches, and they've never really had a top tier running back. But with Stevenson, obviously last week he had some rushing production. He had a couple receptions. So I think if he's going to be fantasy relevant, he's got to have a couple receptions, but then he also needs like that 15 carries. So this week might be a week that'll happen just because Brian Hoyer is going to be starting. So I think if you're desperate, start him, but I won't start him over like guys like Breece Hall or the other guys you're mentioning before.
And also to that, the Packers' run defense has looked shaky at times. So going against the Packers is a plus as well for Stevenson. But looking like for the season, like we said earlier, not sold on him or Harris at all. But for now, just week by week, I'd say this week it would be the best time to start him.
So buy low, sell high, or just hold on. Where are you at, Jared?
I would hold on for this week and hope he has a big week and then sell high. Try.
Okay. Zach, you in the same boat?
I'd see if you could package him with Devontae Smith for a different quarterback that might be a little bit more consistent than Tua.
There you go. Yeah, and I guess we never really asked if this was redraft, did we? He hasn't mentioned, or if it's
I'd
PPR
assume
even.
so.
I'm going to guess redraft.
He did
PPR.
say PPR. He said PPR. Yeah.
Okay, good. Let's go through now and let's do our fantasy. You want to start with players or teams? Jared, you choose.
Let's change it up. Let's go players first.
Players first. All right.
Draft order is the same for both today. We got
I'm
Jared
first.
going first,
Oh.
Drew going second, and then I am third.
Okay.
Cool. Well, we're going to ride the hot hand. We're going to go receiver first, and I'm taking Christian Kirk.
Okay, you're going for Kirk first overall. I like it.
It's a little early.
They're gonna make me think.
I gotta change.
Look. Maybe I do this too much, but I sometimes just look at the best player available. I'm taking Jonathan Taylor, and maybe he's not the best player available right now, but I still think JT might have a big week and a rivalry week.
I'm gonna go CMC. Arizona's
on now.
defense isn't spectacular, so I think he's gonna get some touchdowns this week. And then I'm also gonna go. I'll go receiver. I'm gonna go Michael Pittman at Tennessee.
Jeez. Come on, guys.
Oh, it's
Jared's
my
crossing
turn.
guys off.
Crossing everyone off. Come on.
I love when Jared has to do that. Okay, I got to think more about receiver because I was gonna take quarterback early, but now I thought about it more, and I don't need to. Zach, you took Pittman.
Yep.
But you didn't say. Why do I double dip? I got to take Justin Jefferson again.
Dude.
Gonna get hurt again.
Zach, come on. Let me win. Let me win a week.
I might need to look more into my flex now because I don't even.
I know,
I cross off
that's-
every single player.
Drew's gonna like that 4-point Justin Jefferson week, back-to-back weeks.
I'm gonna go
Not
bold
happening.
again. I'm going bold again. Partially because I had the handcuff on my Yahoo team, so my running back this week is going to be Jamal Williams. And then
Jamal Williams.
yeah, and then I will
I like that pick.
also. I need to look at more receivers now because you guys took all of them or
Well,
running
then
back.
get it going, Jared. Come on.
Yeah. Well, okay. I'm not going to think too hard about this. I'm just going to go.
I'm just answering AJ's question in the chat. I would not trade Swift and Hopkins for Mixon and Metcalf.
There you go.
Okay, not going to think too hard about this. I'm just going to go AJ Brown for my flex.
Sounds like you thought pretty long about it, but
Did I?
yeah. Now I'm gonna think pretty long about it. Why don't I just go and just take Jamar Chase? Can I take Thursday night? I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase. I'm taking him.
I'm up. I'm gonna go. Ooh. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do it. I'm going tight end George Kittle. Hopefully
You're gonna
it's
take
a
him.
boom week.
I took him last week. It was a bust week. Now he's gonna go for 30. I had him down to double dip.
So I'm gonna get my flex. Then I'm going. Ooh, this is tough. Let's go. Shoot. Let's go Najee. I don't like that pick, but I
Out
think
of
he's
nowhere. Over
he'll
guys
get
like
middle of the teens.
over guys like Eckler and Adams. Okay.
Yep. Adams is. Oh, I took him last week in. What do you get? Like 30
4
receiving
points.
yards or something like that.
Yeah.
Is it
He
my
had a
turn?
touchdown, but yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna take. Call me crazy. I'm taking Tom Brady. Yeah, Mike Evans back. I will be taking Tom Brady at QB again. Maybe hopefully Jones is back
10-point
too.
week. Yeah.
All-time great fantasy quarterback Tom Brady, right?
6 point. We're doing 6 point, right?
No,
we
it's
top for
4
this?
point.
Oh, he's
We've
4.
never
point?
done 6
Always
point.
been
I wanted 6
Always
point. It
been
helps
4.
me out. I'll take it.
Well,
I
I'm
go
gonna
off
go
for the
with
scoring in the $20 Journey to a Million League. That's why I go off for the scoring.
yeah.
Fine.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go for a more normal pick for fantasy, and I'm gonna take Kyler Murray as my quarterback. I don't care how bad his team's been; he's still Kyler Murray. He's still gonna put up numbers. And for my tight end, last pick, I will take. Wait, do I have? No, I don't. Then I'll take Darren Waller. Yeah,
I'm taking Robert Tonyan against the Patriots.
look at this guy.
What?
Taking
Look at
Robert
this guy.
Tonyan.
All right. He really wants to lose for what?
He got a
$3
decent
or so.
target share last week, and I'm going for it this week.
All right. Well, I'm a double dip. I'm taking Joe Burrow, or not double dip. I had him last week, I should say. So
Yeah, I got Chase, so you'll help me out. Thanks.
yeah, we're hoping T Higgins has a huge game this
Oh,
week.
no, we're not hoping that. Look, nothing's working for me when I'm taking the top guys. I got to start taking guys who might be sleepers, guys who are like Tunion's
what
due for a
Jared did.
touchdown.
Yeah, I took
Kirk and
yeah.
Jamal Williams.
Yeah. So
You see my scores last week? Come on.
we just got to relax, and I need to do better. So
I took
that's what's
Christian
going to happen.
Kirk over Jonathan Taylor.
150
and Michael
this
Pittman,
week.
Just so you know.
Ugh. Gotta stretch. My back is gonna hurt for.
Did you
The
say
team I drafted.
15? Did you say 15?
I think he said like
I heard
10,
15.
10.5.
What if my team? Well, just think about what if my team ends up with like 40 points? What if it's just like an all-time worst?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go through team picks. You
team
mentioned it was the
picks.
same order here.
Okay. Well, I almost have to go Packers first overall against the Patriots. And I will.
Now I'm stuck because obviously that was mine, and I was hoping I could just wait until Zack picks, but that doesn't happen. I'll take Chargers in a bounce back week.
Okay. I'm going to go. Let's see. I'm gonna go Arizona over Carolina. So that'll be my first pick, and then I'm going. I'm going Dallas over Washington.
Oh, I had
I'm
opposite
taking
there.
Raiders over Broncos.
Early Raiders pick.
You could have got that in like the 5th round.
Yeah.
Taking them this week. That's fine. Call me crazy.
Well, we didn't do it last week, so we're doing it this week. We're taking Colts over Titans. And then second, I will take Dolphins over Bengals.
Eagles over Jaguars.
That was
I'm ready.
Okay, I'm going Detroit over
I had
Seattle.
that, yeah.
And then I am going. This one's tough. I'm gonna go with the Giants over Chicago.
I had that too.
Someone took Rams already, right? Sorry, I just
Nope.
No.
no. I'm taking Rams over 49ers.
Okay. Then I'm gonna take 2 straight here. So I'll take the Vikings over the Saints. And then my last pick, I'm gonna take the Bills against the Ravens. Yeah, we'll do that.
I put something on the screen here. Jaden came back. He let us know the trade got accepted. Awesome, Jaden. Nice job.
Nice.
Sorry, Jared. I wasn't listening. Who did you end up taking with your last pick?
Bills.
Buffalo.
Bills. Okay, well, now I need to think here. Anyone take Jets yet? I'm taking Jets over Steelers if nobody took it yet.
No one did.
I
All
got
you
Jared's
heard-
going for that 1-4 week.
He is.
No, I'm going for the 5-0 upside week this week. I learned I got to be riskier with these picks.
And you are being pretty risky with them.
I'll go Cleveland over Atlanta. I picked a lot of bad teams, but they're also playing bad teams. So
Yeah,
we're gonna hope it turns out.
Zach took the Giants. He took the Browns.
I got the Giants, the Browns, the Lions, the Cowboys, and the Cardinals.
all contenders, huh?
Do we think the Raiders are going to start 0-4? Like, really, guys? Come on.
No, but you could have gotten that with your 5th pick. That's what
But
we're saying.
I really thought someone else would have taken that. Really? Do we think
I
the
was
Raiders?
not taking
So what
them.
I do,
The
what I do,
Broncos
Broncos
haven't
are
looked-
winning that game.
We're acting like the
Broncos are
Broncos
winning
have
that game.
looked phenomenal. I mean,
Drew,
I know
what
I
I
talked about
do, what I would do before every week, when I take notes, I'd take like top pick number 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way down to my 16.
Yeah, I
And
haven't
my
ranked.
16 this week was Raiders against
Why?
Broncos. I had the Raiders winning the game.
The Broncos haven't
They're
looked.
the only 0-3 team, and the Broncos are 2-1. And
Oh, so we're basing off of records, Jared.
Russ
How
is gonna cook
childish.
eventually. Russ is gonna cook eventually.
Well,
I think
the
Las
Raiders
Vegas is going to lose that game, though.
I think
Why
so
is that?
too.
Because I know the Broncos haven't played great, but their defensive has played amazing. The Raiders' defense isn't great. And I think the Broncos, even if they only need like 17 points, I think they can put up 17, 20 points.
Well, it sounds like Renfro's going to be back. I mean, I think there's certainly things that help the Raiders' chances this week. You're not going to have to rely on Matt Collins.
Matt
Okay,
Collins
so
looked
Drew,
good, though.
after this week, we go back. After this week of games, we'll go back to this pick and see who wins this actually. Because
Yes.
Zach's high on
And-
the Broncos, you're high on the Raiders.
I'm not. Oh no, I'm not high. on the
You
Raiders.
picked them second. You're
I-
high.
No, I just thought, and I thought I could get the Eagles later. I thought I could get the Jets and Rams later. That it wasn't that I was high. I just predicted high on the specific team. I just thought I could get them later. But anyways, you guys can ridicule my stuff. Remember last time you guys ridiculed my take last week, the Jaguars, and guess what happened?
Oh,
Drew was
one of your
right.
2 wins. I
Drew
can't
was
say I
right.
did better.
I sound like
but
Jared right now, and I don't
Yeah.
care.
2 and 3.
Yeah.
Amazing last week, huh?
Drew's
I
going.
won't
no,
go
I-
for
we're
it.
just-
I know.
Drew's going 2 and 3 again this week.
What if I go
I'm
0 and 5?
gonna go 3 and 2.
Going 0 and 5.
I'm just calling it.
Reverse sweep.
I'm staying consistent. 4-1.
No,
I
you
think
Calling
that-
it the.
Realistically, I think the Packers
Giants
will
are
easily
losing.
win. I think
yeah,
the,
Jared, that was the lock, I think.
the Dolphins are going to win. I think the Vikings will win.
So
I don't
what's
know
the
about
upset of the
Dolphins.
week?
The Bills and Ravens will be close, and I think the Colts and Titans, they always play close, and they always
Someone
split.
give me an upset.
So, upset of the week is going
Give
to
me one.
be Commanders against the Cowboys.
Ugh.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you watch either of the
Dude,
Cowboy Commander games
okay.
last year? The
Carson Wentz
Cowboys
had one
defense
bad week.
destroyed them. Last year, the Commanders couldn't do a
yes.
single thing against the Cowboys defense.
The
and the
Cowboys have
Cowboys
Cooper
defense.
Rush. I don't care what anyone
All right.
says. He's good. No.
Upset
it's
of the week's
Cooper
the
Rush.
Jets. Book it.
Commanders scoring 10 points. I'm calling
Jets
And
it.
Steelers.
Cowboys are scoring 7.
No. No.
All right. Do you guys like so you like Seahawks over Lions? Anyone? I know Zach, you took Lions, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
No,
So I'm just looking at
somewhat
Cincinnati
high on the
over
Lions.
Miami, upset of the week.
Cincinnati's
Thursday Night
favored right
Football.
now, Zach.
Yeah, it's at
Well,
Cincinnati,
nobody thinks
though.
they're gonna win though.
Well, so I'm telling you, Cincinnati's favored, so that you can't
Okay,
tell
so
me an
that's not
upset's
an
gonna-
Someone's got to
upset?
think it.
Okay, then
No.
Okay, my upset will be Dolphins against Cincinnati then, Drew.
Okay, Jared, thank you.
who's favored in Kansas City against Tampa?
Okay, that game right now, it's
in Tampa. I'm guessing
we're
it's
looking.
Tampa.
Kansas City's favored right now.
Is it
Oh,
in
wow.
Tampa?
It's in Tampa. Yeah.
Wow.
Vegas needs
Kansas
to fix their
minus
odds
one.
so I can pick an upset.
-1 right now.
Who's
So-
favored in the Jets Pittsburgh game?
Pittsburgh -3.
I could see the Jets upsetting there.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Zach. I took the
Yeah.
Jets,
Or
didn't I? You guys called me
Jaguars
crazy.
upsetting the Eagles.
No, that's not happening. Stop.
Okay, I
If
can't.
that
The more you
happens-
speak it, no, the more you speak
that
about
happens.
the Jaguars, Zach, the more you speak about the Jaguars, the more you're correct. So you need to stop saying they're going to do good things.
If
I mean,
they
those
upset the
2-2
Eagles,
Oh my god.
Jared,
All right.
$20 right now.
Oh wow,
still
we're
owe you
doing this
20
live on the
bucks.
air. Do I need to mute
Yeah, you
people?
do.
Okay. All right. Well, we have team picks. We have player picks done. Those will be up. I guess we're a little over the hour mark, so we got to get through our final announcements. We've talked about the games already this week, so you can imagine where we're watching. We're watching Packers when they're on. Jared's watching the Colts when they're on at noon, and then Packers at 3:25 because he's a Packer fan in disguise.
Yep.
We also we got a question here before we wrap up as well, guys. Singletary, Pierce, or Akers at flex? I'm gonna say Pierce right now. Jared, Zach, throw one at me.
Not Akers. Other two are interchangeable to me.
Akers didn't look terrible last year, or not last year, last week.
Singletary had a big week last week. He got a bunch of receptions. Look, I think that Singletary
wouldn't
thing,
take
that's a sell high for
Singletary.
me. That's a sell
If
high.
Singletary
pick
did good
Singletary.
with Josh Allen throwing the ball 63 times, he can have a breakout week any week.
No, if he did it with 63 times, that's the only reason he did it, Jared. He has to throw.
No,
That shows
He's
he
a
has
running
to
back,
throw.
you know?
But listen to me. He threw 63 times. It took 63 times basically to make Singletary productive. You know, I mean, that's how I
If
look
you look at it that way,
from,
yeah.
from a
Yeah.
PPR aspect.
I look
that's
at a
how
running
look.
back as being a running back. I mean, if you look PPR, then yeah.
He had
the
10. Jared, he had 10
are better.
targets. So
Yeah.
that's
I would say Pierce, you have to monitor because he is questionable right now. He had a little injury that popped up. Forget if it was yesterday or today. But if Pierce plays, I'd start him. Otherwise, I'd go Akers over Singletary.
I sent the message. I sent in. I said, where'd the message go? I just sent it. Whatever. I said Pierce.
check injury report game day.
Yes.
I think
kinda saw what you said
Akers
there.
is back and forth. I mean, Henderson's probably the more reliable back there still. I mean, we talked about it all off season with Akers.
Yeah.
It's just not something we can buy into yet, I don't think.
They're playing San Francisco, and usually Sean McVay likes to try and run the ball against San Francisco, even though it doesn't work, just because he likes to play physical against them, because that's what they do against the Rams. If you follow not Joe Flacco, you're going to see that in his story.
Mhm. Saw it.
Nacho Flacco guest in the podcast. Go check that
Friend
out.
of the
Episode out
show.
if you have
He's a
not.
friend of the show.
Friend of the show. Zach got him on some good stuff. But I guess we're probably start wrapping up here, guys. Where can where you can find the Journey to Million stuff, all the great content at Drew Sports Crew on Instagram and Twitter, Facebook and YouTube, Drew's Sports Crew. And Zach, I gotta ask you with the marketing stuff, of course. Do we have some exciting stuff? Power rankings came out, and then of course the takeaways, I guess, for the power rankings. How do you feel about your rankings so far? Are you happy with it? And
Each week they get more and more difficult because there's going to be a good team that loses to a bad team, and then they beat a mediocre team the next week. So after about the teen range is very difficult, and it gets harder each week. So
we welcome debates. So if you disagree with the power ranking on there, please comment. Those are always a lot of fun. And of course, also Zach has his takeaways. He likes to he has them come out, of course, after each week. Go check those out as well on the social media, again, at Drew Sports Crew. Jared, you got anything else here before we wrap up here on this Wednesday night?
I mean, just going off of the power rankings thing, we do agree at the end of the day, right? Like when Zach sends them, we all check them to make sure they're all accurate.
And spell check them. respectfully.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm getting
So-
bet. I can spell cities now. I know there's
I'm
H
s-
at the end of Pittsburgh.
I'm starting to agree more with your rankings. We had to make some adjustments. Me as a Colts fan, putting Jacksonville at 13, or whatever. I think it was 13. Kind of hurt.
Yeah,
but
13.
we had to be done. I mean, you had him at like what, 17? It wasn't much.
That
of
was a fair
difference,
switch.
but-
Yeah.
I moved them
That-
up a little bit.
13
Yeah.
through 17 right now is, I think, in all power rankings
It's
is really
difficult.
tough. It's
Mhm.
really tough because you
I
got
saw
those
one
like,
power
playoff teams
rankings.
outside looking in.
Yeah, I saw one power rankings where the Jaguars were ranked 9.
And that's just valuing too much of the first 4 weeks.
That's-
We still have
yeah.
to evaluate our preseason rankings and kind of do a weighting. And that's how
Like-
I feel you've done, and I'm happy with it.
Are you going to put the Giants at 15? You know, like you can't do
No,
that.
no, you just
Yeah,
watch
I
them
think
play.
I have
Yeah.
him. I have him like top like 22. I think.
Yeah.
I have him.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, if you want to see more on social media, again, at True Sports Crew. Code J2M on Thrive Fantasy. That's how you will begin your journey to $1 million. Of course, that link is in the description on the link tree. Go check that out. We have our parlays, of course, posted before each and every game. Monday Night Football, we are undefeated. Want to highlight that. Let's not talk about Sunday performance, though.
Hey, our
Have
Monday
yet to win one.
Monday makes
Hey.
up for it. Come on, 3 straight weeks. That's
The s-
that's good.
Yeah, J2M squad.
Send
Monday.
us your Sunday 3-legged parlays.
We need
from
help,
Thrive
please.
Fantasy.
At
We
True
need a
Sports-
Sunday winner.
We need it. We are looking for it. Please, at True Sports Crew, send it in wherever. And that is going to wrap it up for all three of us here. Myself, Drew Skyberg, Zach Roush, and Jared Valesky here on this Wednesday night. Thank you all for listening to yet another episode of Drew's Sports Crew, the journey to $1 million, the perfect podcast for you.